Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my class on the Unacademy Live YouTube. So, today we are going to cover Pronunciation Made Easy, Part 5 Consonants. So, in an earlier class, I have done monophthongs, and diphthongs. And in today's class, I will be revising monophthongs and diphthongs with you a little bit and will be introducing consonants to all my students. Now, it's very important to understand that pronunciation has to be done as a whole. All the things that are going to be taught in these series have to be followed one after the other in order for the students to gain the maximum out of it. So, I look forward to your feedback after each class and during the class on whatever is being taught, and I would also encourage you to ask as many questions as possible. I will be replying to questions depending on the relevancy of the topic. So if it's related to the topic and to what I'm teaching, I will be responding accordingly to that. So let's begin. Hello everyone, my name is Arifa Zahir and I'm the founder of British English Trainers. I'm a plus educator here on the Unacademy platform, on the Unacademy website, and today I will be teaching consonants to all of you. Before I do that, a little bit about myself. I've completed my Masters in English Literature and done my CELTA from Cambridge University. So, the CELTA qualification gives me an edge like nothing ever and no other qualification, because after doing CELTA, it has given me the ability to determine the errors that students make and then accordingly focus on those errors and exemplify their strengths and work on their weaknesses accordingly. It helps me to do a complete needs analysis of my students and then accordingly help them with the basic requirements. Because of which, most of the students who have studied, who have done the courses at my institute, have had huge success rate. And I've taught more than 5,000 IELTS students who have gone and achieved the scores both in academic and general training. I have an overall experience of more than a decade in both teaching, training IELTS students and tutors, and also working as an IELTS administrator. I was working with the British Council for 10 plus years, and in that capacity, I did conduct IELTS exams all over East India as an administrator. So, in today's class, I'm going to help you understand pronunciation even better and focus on those areas that you are making your errors in. Alright, so let's move ahead. Before I begin, my referral code is BE Trainers. If you subscribe with this code on the Unacademy platform, you will be getting a 10% off. Let me tell you more about the subscriptions which are available on the Unacademy platform. Now, there are 5 different types of subscriptions ranging from 1 month to 3 months to 6 months to 12 months to 24 months. It's very important to understand that all these subscriptions would be further benefited by the usage of referral codes like BE Trainers, which you can use if you subscribe with my code. Now let me tell you more about the subscriptions. The 1 month subscription is 2,700. The 3 month subscription is 2,250 multiplied into 3, which comes up to 8,100. On this, you get a further 17% off, post which it comes to 6,750. Now let's look at what happens when you put my subscription code after you've availed of the kind of subscription you would want to, after you've applied for it. Once you put my code, which is BE Trainers, you get a 10% off on this amount. So this is an example of one of the packages which you could avail of and use my discount code on it. So that's it about the referral code, and that's it about the subscriptions. I hope if you gain anything out of today's class and you learn more about pronunciation, you will want to go and look up more classes on the IELTS platform on Unacademy. And once you do that, you would want to definitely take up the subscriptions and attend the live classes. In the live classes, you're going to have access to amazing educators who are all experts in the field, and you'll also get an access to recorded sessions conducted by these educators, even if these classes have been done a year or 2 years ago. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss out these offers and go ahead and subscribe to the Unacademy website. Now, before I move on to the next stage, it's very important for me to tell you that this Pronunciation Made Easy series is not in isolation, it is one after the other. If you would want to look at the full series, follow the numbers. So, pronunciation made easy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Today, right now, we are doing consonants, 12 sounds, 13 sounds, and after that, we will be doing the remaining bit at 8 p.m. again tonight, 7:30 p.m. Sorry. So, after attending this class, I would request you to come for the next class too. Now, let us have a look at the band descriptors. This is my favorite part of the class whenever I teach the pronunciation bit, because before we move on to understanding, to getting to know what consonants are, it's very important to understand what the band descriptors are and how are the consonants related to the band descriptors. In order to gain more in the IELTS examination, do not miss out on this explanation. So, we've got vocabulary, grammar, fluency and coherence, and pronunciation. So, these are the four categories on the basis of which you will be marked, and the examiner is accordingly going to score you. So, it's very important to know that vocabulary or the lexical resource consists of 25% of the total marks. So now how can you improve your lexical resource? You can improve your lexical resource by writing words, by using words, speaking words which are relevant to the topic, and you're not continuously repeating those words. So we would be focusing on adverbs, verbs, adjectives, and all these different types of parts of speech in order to become better in this. Just like the pronunciation, I will be doing a series on the vocabulary, so watch out for that. In case of grammar, you will be following the 5 rules, which are very important in order to score more in the IELTS speaking examination. This would include your tenses, your subject verb agreement, your state verb, your countable and uncountable nouns, and most importantly, your ability to determine what complex sentences are, which are going to help you for both speaking and writing. Now, fluency and coherence is nothing but the usage of signposting language, connecting whatever you are saying in the different stages, and most importantly, not hesitating and continuing to speak without any interruptions. This is what is going to help you the most in the IELTS speaking. Even if you are doubtful about a particular topic, keep on speaking on it and try to explain it in other ways so that the person who is listening to you, though may feel that you've got distracted a little bit, but you've come back to the topic by the end of the speaking test. Always remember, keep talking. Be on point in relation to the topic, but if you feel you're getting distracted a little bit, that shouldn't be much of a problem. You should come back to the topic at a later stage. All right? Please remember to answer all 4 parts of the question or all 3 parts of the question which are going to be asked under the speaking part 2 topic. Do not miss out on any part of the question. And part 1 and part 3, remember to answer as much as possible when it comes to part 3. And in part 1, never end your answers with monosyllables or just 1 or 2 words. Always use 2 or 3 sentences to answer part 1. More about how to handle the speaking examinations in a later class on a later date. And right now we reach the most important of all, pronunciation. Now, pronunciation also affects our fluency. So it counts for much more than just 25%, and that is something which is very important for you to know. Now, another thing that you would need to focus on in relation to pronunciation is uh, the four very important things. Apart from the different vowel sounds, consonant sounds, which I will be teaching you, it is very important to note that there are different strategies and techniques. All these will be taught in the pronunciation series that are going to take place this month and the next month. So, like any skill, it takes practice, but you also need to know how to practice. So, in order to know how to practice, we are going to do getting to know the phonemic chart and doing the consonants. So, before I move on to that stage, I can see that Pachu has put in a few questions. Pachu, some of the questions, some of the sounds are nasal, some are affricative, but I'm not going to go into the finer nuances of the consonants today. Today, I'm just going to help you pronounce each consonant correctly. And in the pronunciation series, watch out for unvoiced, voiced, nasal, affricative, stoppage, and fricative sounds. So right now we are going to learn how to pronunciate these words correctly, pronounce these words correctly, and the finer nuances are going to be looked into in the latter classes. All right, let's begin. Once again, introducing the phonemic chart to all the people who want to improve their pronunciation. So now, let me tell you more about the phonemic chart. The phonemic chart consists of 44 sounds of spoken English. It is also called the International Phonetic Alphabet because that's the one which we use to explain it to our students. It consists of 12 monophthongs, 8 diphthongs, and 24 consonants. Phonemes are the smallest units of sounds in a language. If a phoneme is changed, the word may change. Example, change the L sound in lack to B and the word changes to back. Phonemic symbols are used to represent individual phoneme sounds. So you've got a word which starts with Y, yummy. So the sound would be indicated by this symbol, which though looks like a J, but is in actuality the Y sound. So in Hindi this way and in Bengali this way. All right. Now let me show you which are the monophthongs. So these are the monophthongs. We've got 12 monophthongs, which are the single sounds or the pure vowels, and we've got 8 diphthongs, which are the double sounds. Now, it's very important to understand that monophthongs are pure sounds and pure vowels, and because of which they give out only a single sound, which could be a long vowel or a short vowel. So something like eh, e, and diphthongs are dual sounds, oo, So one under diphthongs, one sound originates in your tongue and the other sound originates in your vocal, apparatus, which is your throat, and it could be on the upper part or the lower part, depending on which sound you're pronouncing. It's very important to understand that we use a and an in correlation to the sounds that the word produce and not to the spellings of the sound, so spellings of the word. So this is a very important correlation with your writing and speaking activity too. So please be aware about that. All right, and we've got 24 consonants. Interesting thing to notice is consonants are both voiced and unvoiced. We will not be looking into detail in regard to that today. That would happen in a later class. We'll just learn to pronounce it today. But it's important to notice that the consonants are, though they look easy, and though it seems like everything else apart from A, E, I, O, U is a consonant, but it isn't as easy as that. And there are certain rules that you would have to adhere to while using these sounds as a part of your word list. All right, so let's have a look at the chat box. So whoever's there in the class, can you say a hi? Hi guys. So if you're there in the class, I would request you to say a hi back. All right. Now, let's move on to what consonants are. The word consonant comes from Latin oblique stem consonant from consonans, which means lettera, which is a lettera. That's how it's pronounced. Sounding together, letter. A calic of Greek symphonon, plural symphona. So it's a very complicated definition which you know the dictionaries give us. But consonants are mostly sounds which are not vowels. In articulatory phonetics, a consonant is a speech sound that is articulated with complete or partial closure of the vocal tract. Examples are P, pronounced with the lips, P, T, pronounced with the front of the tongue, T, K, pronounced with the back of the tongue, K, H, H, pronounced in the throat, H, F and S, pronounced by forcing air through a narrow channel, fricatives, and M and N, which have air flowing through the nose, nasals. Contrasting with consonants are vowels. All right. So that's about consonants in terms of the definition. Let's get into doing the sounds individually. Now, if you look at this page, you can see that I've put two very easy sounds right out there for you. Now, if you've got someone in the class, could I get a feedback? Hello, everyone. Is there anyone in the class? Guys, say hi if you're there. Whenever we do the activities, we need to talk. Anyone there in the class? I can see there are 4 people in the class. Guys, please don't feel shy and please respond. Okay, so we've got a lot of people. Hi Anvesha, hi Ramandeep. Really nice to see all of you in the class. And I can see all the 3 of you. Great. So if I see Pachu, then I am going to accordingly answer his questions only after he says hi. So, guys, let's begin. So the words are these, and this is the sound, the phoneme, which is categorized by the symbol B. Right? Now, let's do this. If you open the Cambridge, in fact, if you open the 2 phonemic charts, which are very, very common, one is the Macmillan Phonemic Chart and the other is the British Council Phonemic Chart. You'll notice that you can only hear the sounds. Ba. You'll hear this. Ba. Ba. So you see, that is how we pronounce the sound. Ba. Ba. So we go better, better, big, boyfriend, baggage. So it's a very simple sound, but there needs to be some power when you pronounce this sound. So we go with it again. Better, big, boyfriend, baggage. Now, the D is slightly complicated because unlike the bear, which doesn't have any other word which can lead to misleading it, we have the ver, but then I'll do the ver and ver together in the class which we are going to have tonight. As of now, just we are going to concentrate on b. So you can understand the b sound out here is pretty strong. Similarly is the D sound. So now it's very interesting to note that there is another sound which is similar to the D sound, which is the. Now this is D, this is the. Now again, I'll do the comparison in the class today evening after this class. But for now, I want to share with you that this D is like D. In Hindi, we have D. So this is exactly like that. D. So we've got danger, dad, dew, drum, donkey. Now, Ramandeep and Anvesha, can you give me more words with D? Demonstrate. Very good, Anvesha. So we've got the word demonstrate. Good. Ramandeep, another word with D. Diplomats. Very good. I'm glad you guys are giving me more difficult words. Democratic. Excellent. So I think that's easy because the B sound is really easy, but the D sound, a lot of times students confuse the D and the D. So it's very important to get a clear idea on which is the D sound, which is a slightly heavier sound, and which is the sound. Now, in the class today evening, post this class, I will do a comparison between D and the, B and W, and V and W. Now, the next sound. Let's have a look at this. So this is F. So again, in both in the British Council Phonemic Chart and the Macmillan Chart, you can come to know there are these sounds. F, 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 F. So you've got, yes, Ramandeep, Delhi is right. So the sound is F. So it's very, very light on your mouth. So we go feather, fellow, feature, friend, phone. You can see that the word out here is PH, but the pronunciation is P. So I hope this is absolutely clear to you that when it comes to pronunciation, there is no guarantee that the spelling and the pronunciation of the word are going to be exactly the same. Can both of you give me another word which doesn't sound with an F but has which begins with an F, which sounds like that of a fur, but the spelling is different? Very good, Ramandeep. The word is phenomenal. Excellent. Anvesha, would you like to try? Physical. Fur. Physical. Very good. Physical. Anvesha, a word that you can think of which doesn't start with an F but sounds like that, sounds like F completely. Frost. Frost is a common one. Okay, I'll give that to you, Anvesha. Fine. Then let's move on to the other one. G. G. You can see the origination of G is from here. Very good, Ramandeep. Phenyl. Excellent. Now, the G sound is very interesting. Guitar, God, gap, guest. So you've got the G sound just like the B sound is very easy. Goat, yes. Can you give me more difficult words, both of you? Okay, we'll move ahead from this one. So we've got Ramandeep who's given us good. Godman. That's interesting, Anvesha. Godman. Okay, it's the normal G sound, guys, so there's nothing to worry. Gift. Yes. So you've got a lot of these words. Can you give me a word which has a G sound in the middle of a word? So a G sound which is right there in the middle of the word. We could have something like bigger. Any other word that you can think of? Grow. Okay, Anvesha. Alright, guys, we'll move on to the next sound. Now, the next sound is a very interesting sound. The K sound, a lot of words which do not have the K as the beginning of the word do have the sound. Alright? So let's begin and look at these words. So the sound is K, K, kleptomaniac. So kleptomaniac is someone who has a habit of stealing, and that is because of a kind of illness that they have. So you could look up the meaning, a clearer meaning in the dictionary. But for now, the word is kleptomaniac. So it's a difficult word and it's a long word. So it's nice to practice the K sound with this word. Then you've got kitchen. Now look at these two words. One starts with C and the other also starts with C. The pronunciation for the both are K. So you've got cute and then you've got climb. Can you give me more words which do not have K at the beginning, but the sound of the word is exactly like that of K, K. Cross, very good, Anvesha. Kite. Kite has a K, Ramandeep. Some other word which doesn't have a K but sounds exactly like K. Crib. Very good, Anvesha. Excellent. Close. Good. So I think you guys are absolutely clear with that. So now let's move ahead and have a look at the next sound. Alright? So the next sound is P. Look at my lips and say P, P. So we've got very good. Ramandeep has written close and Anvesha has written cost. So we are going to put cost. I think I've already written close. So we've got pigeon, pigeon, pretty, pa, pa. So it's not heavy on your tongue. So it's important to understand. It's pigeon, pa. So your lips go just like ba. It goes pa. So the sounds are definitely different, but the mouth movement is almost the same, with pa being a little lighter on your lips. Pigeon, pretty, pen, pain. So can you give me two more words, guys? Two more words with pa. Peer. Very good. Public. Excellent. Alright. So now I'm going to move on to the next sound. Purse. So the next sound is m, met, mistake, mellow, miser. So you've got these four sounds right out there. Four words: met, mistake, mellow, miser. Now it's very important to understand that all these four words, when it comes to it being used for m, it's very simple. The m sound is very simple. There's nothing difficult about using the m sound. The only thing that you need to focus on when it comes to the m sound is that you do not use a very thick m. You use it as a lighter version of it. M, pa, pa, pa. That's the way it is done. B, m. So met, mistake, mellow, miser. Girls, can you give me two more words with m? Let's see if you've got two more words with m. So we do not have response in m. So I'm going to move ahead and I'm going to do a t. Now a t is very different from a t. So it's important to understand that the phonemic script does not have the t sound. So it only has the t. So it's not like the, it is not like t. So there's a certain vibration to it. T. So t, 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 tuition, tuition, telephone, telephone, teacher, teacher. So you can see that these are the sounds that get produced when you're pronouncing these words. And girls, I want you to do this with me and I want you to pronounce it with me now. Yes, Pachu. M sound can come at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, depending on where the word is. Mermaid. I've written that, Anvesha, for you. It's a mermaid. Very good. Anvesha has given the answer to that. It depends on where the spelling, where the letter is written. Marshmallows. Marshmallows. No, marshmallows. All right. Can we do t? So it's important to understand that whenever we do the t sound, it has to be pronounced in a manner where your sound, neither is it too light nor is it too heavy, and there's a certain vibration to it. T, teacher, telephone, tuition, tea, time. So we don't say time. You'll hear a lot of people saying sometimes time. It's important to understand that we don't use it that way. It'll be time, time, time. So it's like a girl in stilettos. She goes tuck, 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 tuck. Exactly like that. Okay. So guys, can you give me words with t? Trouser. So this is a very difficult word in terms of how you pronounce it, because there are two words, two letters, both are consonants. Flap. Between flap tea and true tea, Pachu, I right now this is not what we are looking into. I will take note of this question and I'll come back to you in a later class for pronunciation today. In the 7, I think we will be having the next class at 7 o'clock. I'll answer that question for you out there. Flap tea and true tea. We'll have to look into that in a much greater detail before I can answer that for you. So, trouble, yes, tough, very good. Tough, trouble, trouser. Alright, now this is, I hope you will practice this at home by yourself also. Learn to say pass the telephone. Pass, I get a lot of trouble every time I do something that my mother tells me not to do. Torture, torture. So torture has two T's. One is a T, the other is a Ch. Torture. Alright? Yes, Pachu. Now, you've got N and you've got N. So you've got one is a clear cut N, which is not very nasal, but the other one is a nasal N. So it's important to understand one comes out as N and it's normally at the beginning or at the end of the word. This N. And this particular N is normally in the middle of a word. So if you go new, it's N, new. So you can hear a clear N sound without the nasal one. The next one is net, funny, not, nephew. Then you've got, that's the N sound which is there in all the words. Win. So at the beginning or at the end, it's very easy to pronounce it. There isn't like much difficulty in terms of how you should be pronouncing that word. So with most people, it comes easy to them. So you'll never hear someone pronouncing n incorrectly. You normally would hear someone pronouncing b or a v incorrectly, but never a n. But the same person would pronounce the n incorrectly out here because this n is strongly nasal. It's not slightly nasal, but it is, where is our pen? Strongly nasal. All right. The T sounds becomes the D sound. But you normally in the past simple words that we use, there's certain words which end with the ed word. So walked, talked. So there the ed combine together to create the T sound. Now these are very complicated. These are finer, part of the native communication, native language when it comes to British pronunciation, and that is in a much greater detail, Pachu. So something that I wouldn't be able to explain out here because it would, uh, get my students distracted. But I'm taking note of all your questions, and maybe I'll do a last session for the phonemic series will be in response to all the difficult questions that you've asked in relation to pronunciation. Now you've got ring. Now you can see it's not as simple as ring. If I do n as a plain sound and I say ring, it'll sound completely different. So I would have to follow the nasal sound and say, so it comes ring. You can hear. If you put your fingers here, which obviously not for wiping your nose, but just to hear the sound, you can feel the vibration. Ring. If you do that just below your nose, you would feel the vibration. You won't feel that for pink, but you'll feel that for ring. So do that. So you've got ring, you've got pink, you've got no, you've got wing, you've got sing. Now guys, Ramandeep, Anvesha, Pachu, can you give me more words with no? This sound. Hing. Normally that's a hinge. Pachu, more words. Ramandeep, Anvesha. Okay, guys, I'm waiting for one of you to give me words with the n sound. So I haven't got anyone. So you've got sink. Very good, Anvesha. Anything else? Okay, I'm going to move ahead. Zinger. Yes, zinger. Zinger. So that's the one. Absolutely. Very good. So we've also got ginger. I think, but ginger wouldn't, that is a doubtful one. So in fact, I won't even mention that. Jump. No, Ramandeep, that's a m sound. Now, Pachu, those rules have mostly exceptions. So that's the reason why when the n sound is in the middle of a word, then is the only time when you can hear the nasal quality. Okay, Ramandeep, you're answering for a different one. Zipper isn't the right one here. Now let's move ahead and look at the j, z, and the j family. All right, let me write down linger out here because that's a nice word, Anvesha. So this is the normal j sound. So this would be jug, jam, jealous, giraffe. So a very common j sound. Can you guys give me another word which doesn't have the J letter but the sound is J? Anyone? It's quite difficult, so I'll let that be. Let's move on to Z. This is the next sound in the J series. Z. So this is zoom. So it's like zzz. You can feel the vibration in your tongue. Zzz, zzz, zoom, zoom. So zap, wizard, zipper. Can you give me more words with the z sound? Judge. Pachu, the judge sound is for this one. Yes. Zero. Very good. Can you give me a word which has the z sound but does not start with z? Anyone? Let's see if you can do that. It has the z sound but does not start with z. The letter is in Z, but the sound is Z. Let's see if you can do this. Guys, it's very easy. It's another word for, it's an Indianism. A lot of people use it instead of photocopies. Zero, yes. Let's see who can give me this word. Xerox. Yes, Pachu, the J sound is the Y sound. The J is the letter, but the sound is Y. Okay, so it comes as Y. Xerox. The other word, guys, is a xylophone. Have you guys heard of the word xylophone? Yes, Ramandeep. Now, I'm going to move on to the last category, which is je. Je. So if you look at no, giraffe. It's in the last one, not this one. So first one. So now it's the je. So we go. It's neither z, neither is it j. It's in the middle of. It's a mixture of both of these. So it goes je, je, treasure. So you've got this is the sound treasure. All right, leisure or leisure. Division, je. Okay, measure, je. So can you see that? So can you give me more words with the je sound? Je sound. Can we have more words with that sound? Je. So I've given you treasure, leisure or leisure, division, measure, closure. Very good, Anvesha. Pleasure. Excellent. Anyone else? Pachu, can you give me another word there? Suggestion. Je. Suggestion. I'll have to check that word, Pachu. Actually. Suggestion. Je. Je. Suggestion could be. Let me just check that word and I'll get back to you on that word. Yes, Pachu, you are absolutely right. Suggestion is right. Okay. Laser. So laser would be here. Alright. Okay, guys. So with that, we come to the end of the 13 consonant sounds. And like I told you earlier, I will revise the other monophthongs and diphthongs with you quickly. So we've got right out here the 12 monophthongs E, F, O, U, A, O, O, A. Alright? Ear, air, A, oi, ow, ow, I, air. So these 12 were the monophthongs and these 8 are the diphthongs. Now with that we come to the end of today's session on consonants. In the other class that I'll be doing at 7 p.m. I'll do the remaining consonants with you. Before I end, let me share my referral code with you. If any of the subscribers who are watching this video or anyone who is watching this class on pronunciation, if you would like to subscribe to the Unacademy platform, to the Unacademy website, I would request you to use my code BETrainers. I'm currently doing a course on grammar and the parts which are remaining are tenses and articles and adverbs and a doubt class where we'll discuss all your queries in relation to the different grammatical aspects. And to make this further easier for you, I will be doing a short session on grammar, a revision of everything that has been done in the doubt class once again. And I'm currently also doing an essay writing course. So if you would like to attend any of these courses, please do not wait. Come to the Unacademy platform, Unacademy website and watch these classes and learn the maximum and gain the most from it. Thank you and bye-bye to all of you. And I look forward to seeing you again at 7 p.m. Bye guys.